Welcome to your Morning Boost, your daily leadership advice to help you lead your school community. Brought to you by AWB Education and sponsored by Grundmeyer Leader Services, where together we are transforming education, one leader at a time. Now here's your host, Adam Busch.
Good morning, school leaders. Welcome back to your Morning Boost. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend, awesome weekend, and you're recharged and ready to start your week off right. And I hope that since you're turning into this show, this is one way you found to start your week off right. So thanks for joining us again. This entire week, we are going to focus on goal writing. We're going to use the SMART goal process as our approach for this goal writing. I mean, honestly, there are many different formulas and formats and foundations, all these things out there to use when you're writing SMART goals. But for our purposes, we're going to use the SMART goal format for this discussion. Each day, we're going to focus on a different letter and how this not only applies to you as a school leader writing your goals, but also how you can assist your staff in writing theirs. If you're not into goal writing, you need to do so, and you want to begin to. Bill Copeland once said, the trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your entire life running up and down the field and never score. Very true, Bill. It's very true advice. So today we're going to kick off this week. This dedicated to SMART goal writing. We're going to start with the S, specific. We're not just talking about clarity. We're talking about laser-focused precision. So why is specificity so crucial? Well, as Jim Rohn famously said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. To be better, we must be precise. When we set vague goals like improve student achievement, we're well-intentioned, but we lack direction. It's like trying to hit a target in the dark. Instead, we need to ask, what specifically do we want to improve? And then how exactly will we know when we've achieved that? Data reinforces this too. A study by Locke and Latham in 1990 showed that specific challenging goals lead to higher performance than vague goals or no goals. They found that clarity eliminates ambiguity and it focuses effort and resources. Think of it this way. A specific goal acts as a mental GPS. It guides us step by step on how we want to get to our final result. So now let's talk about some actionable tips. We're going to start with yourself. Go beyond just the 5 W's. We're going to ask how much and by what method. So if you think about this for a full SMART goal, for an example, instead of just saying things like improve communication, think about the what. We're going to try something like increase parent participation in monthly virtual meetings. That's my what. And then the how much by 20% per se. By the end of the school year, that would be my when. And then the who is, kind of targeting parents of students in certain grades, like grades 6 through 8. And the method, okay, we want to ask that part too. So using interactive polls and Q&A sessions maybe. And the why is that we want to improve home to school collaboration. So that goal would be I'm going to increase parent participation in monthly virtual meetings by 20% by the end of the school year. And we'll do so by targeting parents of students in grades 6 through 8, using interactive polls and Q&A sessions to improve homeschool collaboration. Again, I've got the what, I've got the how much, I have the when, which is very important. Sometimes we forget that part. And then also get back to that who, the method, and the why. So we've got the 5 W's, but a little bit more than that. Just consider breaking down those complex goals into smaller, specific sub-goals. The one I just mentioned there, that makes sense to me. I can understand exactly what it is we're shooting for, and it makes the overall objective less daunting. Another example that would be, so like you could say, I'm going to, if I do something like, increasing the reading level of third grade students, that's going to be my goal for this year. I'm going to increase the reading level of third grade students. Well, that's pretty vague. So let's break that down. Instead, let's put the deadline in there. By December 15th, 80% of third grade students will increase their reading level by 1 grade level. And I'd also put in as measured by whatever assessment is that we're using at our school, whatever data I have access to. Again, that is going to be more specific. It's not going to nearly be as vague. I'll know whether or not I make that goal, and I'll also know exactly what I'm looking for as far as to achieve that goal. If we're talking about our staff, it's a similar process. Just as you're helping them set goals, encourage them to define their desired outcomes very clearly as well. We can ask some probing questions like, what does success look like in measurable terms? What is it that you're really truly looking for, and how can you tell that you've made it there? And then the other part we always want to ask about is, what specific actions will we take to achieve this goal? It's not simply about a goal I want to have happen. I also need to know how I'm going to get there. Provide your staff with some templates or frameworks or something like that to help them craft specific goals. In our case, for a SMART goal, it could be just the SMART goal sheet that's got every letter ready to go, and make sure that we hit all of those parts. We just want to emphasize the importance of defining those deliverables. What are those tangible outcomes that are going to demonstrate achievement? Another example, it could be, instead of, I want to improve classroom management. That's a very common one for teaching staff. A suggestion I would have then is like, okay, let's talk about the time piece to this. So maybe by the end of this semester, I'm going to implement 3 new classroom management techniques. And because of that, student referrals will decrease by 10% or by 15%. Again, it's going to have some time-bound pieces to it, and it's very specific on what I'm trying to accomplish. Just remember that a specific goal provides a clear roadmap. We want to minimize confusion and maximize focus. That's really what we're shooting for. It allows for clear action and accountability. That's our S for SMART goals for this week. Come back for more each day this week as we'll keep diving into setting goals for success. Also, just a quick reminder, check out our new Booster Shot episode that's coming this Wednesday. I promise for you, it will be worth your time. Otherwise, thanks for listening. And as always, we will talk with you again tomorrow.
You have been listening to your Morning Boost by AWB Education in partnership with Grundmeyer Leader Services. You can find out more about our services by clicking on the links in the description. Remember, you are doing this vital job that only a few can do. So until next time, thank you for your service to your community.